had them, I should say, on the boat that Alice and I had together for 4 years. And it was just the peace of mind of knowing that there's a carbon monoxide detector doing what it needs to do for me 24 hours around the clock. This is a 2-pack. And this is the Samurai Mini. They are tiny. I loved them because you know what? You can use them with a little sticky-sided tape. You just adhere them this way, either up this way or on the side or down if you wanted to put it on a ceiling. But it is a carbon monoxide, not only detector, an alarm, which also, of course, will lend itself to just alerting the family that there's something not right going on. There's been several stories in the news recently. You know, we can't smell carbon monoxide. It's undetectable to us as humans that there's a problem. But when there's a problem, it is a fatal problem. I've got a story I don't even want to share with you on the air of somebody that I know passed this way. So I think we all know of something or somebody who has not really taken this precaution. It's something we don't necessarily think about as much as we think about the smoke alarms, but this can kind of act as double duty. And my friend Joe Harrison is joining us to talk more about these. Good to have these back in our inventory, Joe.
For sure. It is. It's such an important thing because you're right, Callie. Most of us, we have smoke detectors. You don't even think about carbon monoxide, but if you have something that's burning gas, wood, has fuel, coal in your house, water heaters, furnaces, space heaters, stoves, so many things in our house release off particles of carbon monoxide. And our body, our senses cannot detect it at all. Can't see it, can't taste it, can't smell it. A lot of times the symptoms are you feel like you have a cold or maybe you just ate a bad meal. So some people think, oh, I just had a bad meal, let me go to bed. And that's it. And that's when bad things happen. It's quickly becoming one of the top reasons why people are calling 911 is because of carbon monoxide poisoning. And for so many of us, we've relied, if you have a carbon monoxide detector, great for you. However, these are the older carbon monoxide detectors, big and bulky, designed back in the 70s. So we're talking 50 years of technology. When you see the difference between the two, this one is smaller, but it also has an updated sensor. It's got a photoelectric sensor that's on the inside that's going to immediately determine that there is carbon monoxide. And like Hallie just showed you, you're going to hear that beep. Now, it's different than a traditional beep. A lot of times you hear a smoke detector, it's a slow, sweeping sound. But when you hear this beep, it's quick, it's fast. It means get out because you don't know, like unlike a fire, you're like, well, fire's over there, smoke's over there. I know, stay away from there. When you hear that fast beep, you don't know where the carbon monoxide is. It's time to get out right away. But the great thing about Samurai, and this is all Samurai does, by the way, they sell home and safety products, over 400,000 items sold here at HSN just the last couple of years alone. But this one here, not only does that have new technology compared to this, but these guys, they require a battery every 6 months. With this one, it is a 10-year battery. Let me repeat that, 10-year battery that is built inside. So right now it's the year 2022. You don't have to think about this for the next 10 years. The only thing you have to do, and like this one, you change the batteries every 6 months. Callie, with this one, it's that little button on the front. You just test it every 6 months. Hold it down for a couple seconds. When you hear the beeps, you know everything is functioning perfectly. But when you hear the beeps and you're not testing it, Callie, you know that's your first line of defense. Get out the house right away because there's some carbon monoxide floating around your home.
Yeah, and it's the scariest thing to me because, you know, smoke you can smell or you can see and you feel. You don't. Carbon monoxide, it's an invisible poison that, you know, you don't even notice something different in terms of smell. So it's just such an important thing to have. Small price to pay to sleep better through the night. I know that's for a fact. This is the little button that Joe was talking about. If you hold it down, you can test it, but that's the sound that gets you up and out the door instantly, as soon as you possibly can, because it is lethal. It really is, and I don't want any of you to go through that. I went through it many years ago. This is how my brother passed away, and so it's definitely a hot subject and certainly a really important thing to just do the right thing by having them. You know, 10 years, you said 10 years on the battery without ever having to even think about it. I always worry about that with the smoke detectors because, you know, they're up there and you see them and you hear the little chirp every once in a while. You're like, I don't remember the last time I changed those batteries. I like not having to think about it.
Well, that's the thing, Cal, is a lot of times you think, okay, I've got to change my batteries every 6 months, and we all forget about it. You'll take the battery out, you're like, I'll get a battery tomorrow. Then tomorrow turns into a week and turns into a month later. Before you know it, you don't have any working detectors in your home at all. But just to show you, if you had two of these, just like we're giving you a 2-pack today of your carbon monoxide detectors, if you had two of them and had to change the batteries every 6 months for 10 years, this is what 10 years worth of batteries would look like. And I know it's different for everybody, but this cost me $67 just in batteries. But keep in mind, at $67 in batteries that I'm putting into an old carbon monoxide detector that was invented back in the 70s, that technology has not changed at all. When you end up getting your Samurai, this is technology that's developed in the last 8 years with a brand new advanced photoelectric sensor. So there's no more false alarms. It detects danger and gets you out of the house right away. But the nice thing about this is, unlike this guy, it's big, it's cumbersome. You're like, where am I going to put this thing? When you get this at home, all you have to do, comes off on the base, just screw the base off. The battery is already inserted. All you do is you pull the plastic tab, that starts day one. We even include a sticker on the side so you can put an install date on there, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, Callie, for the install, we do give you screws. So if you don't have a flat surface, recommend you screw it in. If you have a flat surface, you can use the 3M adhesive tape. Now, Callie, here's the thing. It has to be 6 feet and above. So basically, right above your head and above. It could be hanging on the sidewall. It could be hanging upside down. You can put it on a hanging shelf if you want to. It's small, so small, it's compact. But as long as it's 6 feet and above, that's what's recommended. And when you talk about recommendations, the U.S. Fire Administration, Callie, they recommend one of these for every floor of your home, including the basement. And when you think about, when you're looking at your house, when you're sitting there right now thinking, where's that smoke detector? There's a smoke detector. There's a smoke detector. Where are your carbon monoxide detectors? Most of us don't even have them. It's not me and Callie recommending that. This is the U.S. Fire Administration recommending a carbon monoxide detector in every level of your home, or also every 750 square feet of your home. So it's not like you just need one. You need a 2-pack
You know,
today. And you can, go ahead, Callie.
I was just thinking you should travel with these. So, I mean,
Oh, for sure.
we've all seen the stories in the headlines really
It
recently.
just happened.
Right. I mean, and you would have no idea if there's a problem in a hotel room or a villa or wherever you might be
Right.
staying. I mean, this is so tiny. You could just pop this into a suitcase, bring it with you. I mean, it just is peace of mind. Let's face it. You can't take back a bad decision because carbon monoxide kills. It just does. And I'm just saying what a smart purchase this is. I remember when I got these, and I did get them for the boat because Alice was in, we had separate little chambers, and I just wanted both of us to sleep through the night without worrying about who knows what kind of leak there is or where it's coming from.
Exactly.
Certainly aren't going to smell it or notice it until it's too late. So again, 2 separate boxes. I think that's a great point you made in terms of recommendations of one on every floor at least, or you said every 750 square feet?
50 square feet. Exactly. The reason why that is, Callie, is because anything that burns fuel, gas, coal, wood, all of that, air conditioners, certain air conditioners also release carbon monoxide detector. That's our carbon monoxide. That's what happened to their 3 Americans where they traveled to a hotel and they passed away in the night. And it took a month to determine it was the air conditioner and the carbon monoxide poisoning that came from that. And that's why the reason they say it's not just one floor, because what's down in your basement? You might have a furnace. That's where your air conditioner, your air handler might be. Maybe you have a wood burning stove, all these different things. But then you think about the kitchen. So many appliances in our kitchen are releasing small particles of carbon monoxide. So you just can't put it in one room. It's got to be in every level of your house. And that's, again, according to the U.S. Fire Administration, or every 750 square feet. And if you're thinking, I would want that protection, I definitely have them in my house because all the scary things that happen. But the idea of installing this, super, super easy. I've already gone ahead and put the screw right here. You just attach that and you spin it to the plate. That's it. You're done. If you don't own a screwdriver, we're giving you the 3M adhesive tape. And as long as it's a flat surface, you can put this anywhere in your house. Put it on the wall, put it on the ceiling. As long as it's 6 feet and above and it's a flat surface, the tape is ideal for you. But the reason why we need this, Callie, unlike smoke is by far the #1 reason why people call 911. However, carbon monoxide is climbing up that list because so many appliances in our house release small particles of carbon monoxide, but your body can't detect it at all, has no way of detecting it. Can't see it, can't smell it, can't taste it, And a lot of times, Callie, people get sick and they think, oh, I just had a bad meal. Let me go to bed. And bad things happen.
Yeah.
With this, when you hear that beep, when that beep goes off, you know instantly that's danger, time to get out of the house and really save everybody in your family.
Yeah, I mean, really, when you think about it, small price to pay not only to have one in general, but for 10 years, you never have to think
10
about
years.
a battery ever. 10 years. And this is two separate boxes, so they're $30 a piece. By the way, there's free shipping, and they're on 3 Flex or 4, so you can get them for $20 on a Flex, or even less if you use an HSN card. I think that brings it down to about $15. And if you want to get our HSN card, that can give you another $20 towards your first purchase. If it's this, so it's a feel-good moment. Because you know what? Everybody needs one. Every home needs these. This isn't kind of an option as far as I'm concerned, Joe, not today. Not when there's so many things, as you said, that can release like little particulates of carbon monoxide. I mean, I don't have a gas stove, but if I did, I'd be like, oh, it just makes me nervous.
Right. We have gas generators. We have our water heater runs off of gas. My stove runs off of gas. All that stuff is releasing small particles of carbon monoxide. Even if you have a car that drives into the garage and you close that door and turn the car off, what rooms are surrounding that garage, all of that, you're opening yourself up to carbon monoxide poisoning. That's why you got to have it in every level of the home. But don't rely on something like this. You can find these out there with the batteries. Yeah, you replace them every 6 months, but you'll start to forget about it. And this technology is from 1970. Callie, this with that 10-year battery and that new advanced photoelectric sensor that was developed in the last 8 years. This is cutting edge to keep you and really everybody in your entire household nice and safe. And
one more quick reminder, they do come with the battery already installed. This is that 3-volt lithium-ion battery. Just make sure you take that little tag out that they put in there to protect it. So once you do that release, I like your suggestions to put a little date and time stamp. So, well, 10 years down the road, this is still going to be working just fine for you. There's that sound.
That's
you hear
it.
that? Out the door.
Get out.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Callie.
Good to see you. Such a serious subject, but I love that there is something that can be done about it. So let's switch gears a little bit. Let's have some fun. We're going to talk about the vibration platform next from Tony Little, but I also want to remind you, because I'm going to be working out on this in our weekly deal.